This conference will now be recorded.
Integrated business processes in SAP S/4HANA. So before starting this particular course, before starting this particular demo, I want to clarify one thing. Yeah, there are two courses I'm teaching. So SAC Integrated Financial Planning. So this integrated financial planning and integrated business processes, whatever you see now, I'm starting integrated business processes in S/4HANA. Both are different concepts, right? uh, why I'm telling this, because I got some email saying that we are interested in IBP, right? IBP in the sense integrated business planning. Yeah, so integrated business planning or integrated financial planning, it's a separate thing, right? In SSE it's a separate thing. So integrated financial planning basically includes cost center planning, product cost estimate, planned capex planning, financial statement planning, all those. Yeah. So that integrated financial planning happens based on the plan data. Now, integrated business processes in SAP S/4HANA basically talks about actual processes in S/4HANA. So, for example, for the integrated financial planning, you have cost center expenses. So, in the cost center expenses, you are going to estimate operational expenses, and you are going to plan the activity types. You are going to calculate the activity prices for the planned years. That's what happens in integrated financial planning. But in integrated business processes, the same processes actually based on actual data, how the activity prices posted, how the expenses are posted, what is controlling, what is cost center, what is profitability. So all those business processes we are going to understand in this particular S4 HANA. So in the integrated financial planning, you need actual data comparison, correct? So how the actual data generated in S4 HANA, that's what we are going to understand. So these are two different uh, uh, products. Now, integrated business processes in S4 HANA designed to explain modules like FI, PP, warehouse management, enterprise asset management, etc. So we have a lot of modules in S4 HANA. Most of the people, what I observed, you have different backgrounds, right? Some people came from Hyperion to SAP to learn group reporting. Some people uh, working on BPC, business planning and consolidation, then came to group reporting or SAC for the project implementation. At that time, you, those people who are new to S4 HANA, they lack the business knowledge of this S4 HANA. So we are going to understand all the modules, mainly FICO, right? FICO very important for group reporting or SSE integrated financial planning. So as part of this course, we are going to understand business processes like record to report processing, which includes FI and CO, high to retire, which is HR relevant, like workforce planning. So for the workforce planning, what is the base? So high to retire processing and integrated business processes in S4 HANA. Source to pay processing, warehouse and inventory management. So then uh, design to operate processing, lead to cash processing, project systems, SAP Enterprise Asset Management. So all these things we are going to cover. So source to pay process. I'm just removing. So now let's understand the purpose of this particular course. So when I'm teaching integrated financial planning or group reporting, yeah, when for example when I'm talking in SSE planning, when I'm explaining the processes, whatever integrated planning processes, What I observed, most of the participants lacking the knowledge of S4HANA business processes. So, as I said earlier, I started this particular course to address those issues. So, when you are talking, right, when you are talking with the business, right, so you have to understand the business process, then you can discuss with them, whether that may be planning or group reporting, whatever the product. If you have, for example, if you don't have process knowledge, yeah, so technically you can configure the system. So how to create a model, how to create a dimension, how to create a table, how to create a view, anyone anyone can perform this particular activity, because there are a lot of sources and it's not that difficult to create the things. So the main important thing is you should be able to address the customer requirements, business requirement, and you have to provide solutions for those business requirement. So that you can uh, do when you have this integrated business processes in S4 HANA knowledge. So how the processes are executed in this S4 HANA? What is the process? What is source to pay process? What is lead to cash process? If you know lead to cash process, then you can easily address sales planning. If you know record to uh, so this process record to report process, then you can easily address the financial statement planning. So this particular business process knowledge helps you to design SAP analytics and planning solution. Why I said analytics and solutions, planning solution. Any analytic solutions. For example, people, the customer will ask you like, I want P&L by function. So first of all, you should know what is P&L by function. That is covered here in this particular business process. The customer asks you, I need cost estimate data. So you should know where is this cost estimate. That this course helps you to understand kind of cost estimate, where it is generated, how it's generated. Cost of sales reporting, they will ask, I want P&L by cost of sales, based on cost of sales, that you can understand. Now you can also understand, so mainly the cost estimate, how standard cost estimate created in S4 HANA. So for example, you have project planning. As part of project planning, how the budgets are created for a project, right? It's part of S4 HANA business process. So that you are going to understand. Sometimes user will ask you how to create project wise actual budget variance report. So when you understand the process, then only you can give that one. If you don't know the process, you have to depend on some other consultant or other process consultant. So what happens if you define, if you depend on other process consultants, what happens, there might be a gap. So what you want, if you ask what you want, then only they can help you, right? There might be some, if you don't have process knowledge, whatever you are asking, it might not be clear to the other person. So to generate lots of reports in analytics, you need this particular product knowledge. So there might be, so sometimes we people ask me like how to export data. So what is the use of from SAP, from SAC planning, the data should be exported. BPC data should be exported to this S4 HANA. Why we need to export? That those questions are answered in this particular session. Most of the BPC consultants are learning S4 HANA group reporting. So BPC means business planning and consolidation. So when they are learning in S4 HANA group reporting, they are lacking the knowledge of FI and CO. So it's very good for them who are converting from BPC to group reporting. For them, it's a very good course. Some people ask me, I want to learn DataSphere or SAP PAPM, Profitability and Performance Management. I gone through these products, DataSphere or PAPM. Configuration wise, DataSphere or PAPM, it's very easy. You can easily configure these things. Easily you can understand. If you spend some 15 to 20 days, you can understand the products. What I understood before I start these particular courses, people should understand the business processes in S/4HANA. So this is one more reason to start this particular course. So this is the main purpose of the course. We are going to discuss in this particular business processes course, in this particular course as for HANA business processes. Let's go through this course content. So first, unit 1, yeah, integrated business processes in S4 HANA. We will understand the motivation for SAP S4 HANA. So basically, what are the different versions, ECC, how S4 HANA came. So this might be most of you know, right? But I will take few minutes and I will go through that S4 HANA overview. So unit 2, right? So most of the people don't know what is Fury. So for all consultant, it's mandatory skill, Fury. So we are going to understand this particular new user experience, Fury experience. So what is we had traditional user interface. So this is Fury is the new one. We are going to understand the difference between these two things and what are the influence factors why SAP came to this particular Fury. Why it's called as next generation of user interface. Yeah, there are types of Fury applications, transaction apps, analytical apps. We are going to understand some application examples. Yeah, so we are going to understand Fury Launchpad. So in the unit 3, we are going to understand organizational structures. Any product, so whether that may be actual or planning when we talk about, we need to understand the organizational structures. We need to understand master data of those particular processes. So we are going to understand organizational structures, concepts of master data as part of unit 3. Unit 4, record to report processing, which is basically for FI and CO we designed. I'll explain. So already we got some idea in the unit 3. You got some idea on organizational structures in FI. In the unit 4, what we talk about, I will explain financial accounting, FI we call it as management accounting, CO, financial accounting, management accounting, and the integration between FI and CO we will understand. I'm going to explain organizational levels in SAP Financials. How to create a GL account. So see, remember always first we will understand the process, record to report process. Then the process is important. What are the steps involved in this process? Then we will talk about FI, CO, integration of FI and CO, organizational levels in FI, how to create a GL account, how to create a cost center. See, this all about in S4 HANA. As a user, the users creating this GL account, cost centers, profit centers. Yeah. Once the master data is defined for FI for our postings, we will define we will post one transaction. We will check how the transaction is available in the reports. We will create vendor master record. We will post vendor invoice. We will create asset master record. We will post asset relevant transaction. We will plan the rates for activity types, cost center and activity type combination. We will post an activity allocation. People knows, so in SSC planning we perform allocation, correct? So the same allocation based for the actual data how it happens in FI. That's the base. So we are going to post activity allocation. We are going to create internal order. So we are going to create internal order. So these are the things we are going to perform. So there are many exercises here, lessons, exercises. I divided lessons and exercises. You can see how many lessons are there, how many exercises are a lot of. So around 20 exercises are there in regard to report processing. Then high to retire processing, high to retire processing. So what happens? Many people used to ask me um, about this workforce planning. Yeah. So in order to work on a workforce planning, you should understand hire to retire processing, how it happens. What are the products involved in this particular hire to retire processing? Hire to retire processing, we will talk about human capital management. So organizational management. So in particular HCM, you have some organizational elements we have to understand. We have to understand employee master data. We have to understand S/4HANA with a success factor. So it's my so with success factor, I'm not going to show you the success factor system. However, the integration between success factor and this particular S/4HANA system we will understand. So high to retire processing includes workforce planning. So if you understand this one, you can easily understand whatever SAP delivered in the workforce planning. In SAP delivered workforce planning content, so then you can understand this particular process. So then we are going to understand source to pay processing. Source to pay processing. So we are going through entire process overview. What is this source to pay processing? So organizational levels, right, for this particular source to business processes. We are going to create material masters. We are going to create vendor masters. So basically the business partners, right? So we are going to create material master, vendor master, and we have some reports relevant to this vendor specific master data record. So we are going to understand. We are going to create purchase requisition for a stock item, and we are stock item consumable materials, right? We will create a purchase requisition. We will create a purchase order as part of source to pay processing. We will discuss how these purchase like whatever stock items, consumable materials, whatever purchase order we raised. After that, we will just check the integration points, Ariba and this particular procurement in SAP S/4HANA. So source to pay basically procurement, right? So one part of it is procurement. So Ariba, how it's how integrated. So theoretically we will see, we will not see. So whatever functional knowledge we need, we will understand this one. So because we created purchase order, then we will post a goods receipt for a purchase order. We will process the supplier invoice. So once the invoice is processed, we will run the automatic payment run. How the payment done for that particular invoice, that we are going to understand. You can see the exercises and lessons here. And the next, warehouse and inventory management. So the objective of this particular process, warehouse and inventory management, we will discuss warehouse management systems. So here only theoretically we will go through. So warehouse management system will discuss. Warehouse structures, how can you structure your warehouses, usage of these warehouses, right? There are some stock changes, right? Stock transfers, basically. Those are very important. So we are going to understand types of stock changes. Then we are coming to design to operate processing. Yeah. So this is very important, process, because standard cost estimate or product cost estimate, the actual product cost estimate, or in S/4HANA happens using this particular design to operate processing. I will explain design to operate business process, organizational levels, which supports this particular design to operate business process. I will explain master data, what master data we need for this particular design to operate process. We will create product cost estimate. We will plan the product demand. There is a process, MRP process. When you are giving solution in SAC, so they will ask you like how the MRP happens. So MRP process we are going to understand. We will perform in S4HANA. So people used to ask me integrated business planning. So here also you can perform integrated business planning, right? So demand planning, so material requisition planning. So we are going to perform advanced planning. We will understand how the advanced planning can be performed in this particular S4HANA. We will understand what are the steps involved in the manufacturing business process. We will create a plan order and we will understand how the plan order is converted to production order, how the production orders are released, and we will perform material withdraw. So when there is a production order, you need a material. So how the materials are withdrawn, that we will understand. So material, goods receipt, order confirmation, these things we will understand. And at the end, so it involves period and closing. Yeah, so here somewhere I have written period and closing. So we are going to understand period and closing here. So it's a big process. So we are going to understand. Then the next one is lead to cash processing. Lead to cash processing. So what is lead to cash business process? We will understand different organizational levels involved in this particular or support this particular lead to cash business process. We are going to understand. Here also we need master data for the sales and distribution. So lead to cash is basically based on sales and distribution. So we are going to understand the master data for this particular lead to cash processing. We will create customer master record. We will create some condition records. So for this customer, this much uh, discount I want, right? We will create sales order. Based on the sales order, we'll create delivery document. We will create customer invoice. So this data is transferred to integrated with COPA, controlling profitability analysis. So we will evaluate COPA, then we will explore transportation management. So that is lead to cash processing. Then we have SAP project systems, very important thing. So as part of this project systems, right, SAP project systems, we are going to understand the process steps in project system. We are going to create a project structure. So for the project, whatever resources, so we will plan resources for that particular project. We can also plan the dates for the project. We can plan the cost for the project. We can create a create the budget for this particular project, and we can execute a project. We can record labor for a project. We can post material for a project, and we will perform period end activities for this particular project systems. So at the end, we have enterprise asset management. It's a optional course, right? So we are going to understand optional topic, this enterprise performance management. So theoretically, we'll discuss this particular project. I will see whether I can execute the exercises. If exercises can be executed in the training system, we will execute. So business steps in whatever the steps involved in SAP EAM, we call it as enterprise asset management. We will define organizational levels in this particular EAM and functional locations, right? So where the machinery is there, so the equipments are there. We'll discuss. So how this EAM integrated with asset accounting, right? We will describe the serial numbers, whatever other master data required for this particular EAM. We will discuss how to create maintenance orders, process how to process these maintenance orders relevant to EAM, and execute that in maintenance orders, and then period and closing activity for this particular EAM. So total, if you observe here, total 82 exercises. Total all these processes involves 82 exercises. Even it depends. So I planned for 40 hours. Actually, every course I plan for 30 hours. But this course I cannot complete in 30 hours. It's 40 hours course. So 82 exercises and lessons we have to complete. So as the plan for this particular course, so total hours planned 40, not 30 hours, 40 hours, minimum 40 hours it takes approximately. And then planned same time, how you connected today, same time, 6:30 morning India time, it's morning. So 6:30 India time, AM. So 7:30 morning. So for US, it will be in the evening. So these are weekday sessions. So I planned for 4 days, weekdays, not weekends. So weekends I have separate another course. So these are weekday sessions, India Tuesday to Friday. Yes, sessions are not recorded, but I will give you the configurations, documentation, class notes, and all those things. Course cost is as usual 30,000 INR. You can pay in 2 installments. So the same server. So whatever the server you are using for the group reporting or group reporting, so you can use that one if you already have that one. Otherwise, 3 months he will take 5,000. 1 month you can he will take 2,000. So it will take definitely take 3 months. Better we go with 3 months, right? So this all about the course. Any questions? Yeah,
Um, I have a question.
yeah,
Are you going to provide us the training material as well?
yeah. I'm going to give the documentation book. Yes, training material I'll give you.
Thank you.
Right. So tomorrow we will connect. We will connect with the same meeting request. Let's go through the overview. Yeah, the unit one we will start, and Fury we'll see whether we can complete Fury. So anybody interested, just send an email. Yeah, I will respond to your email. Yeah, we'll stop now.
Thank you.